How scales and sympathetic strings teach the ear to play. Before we talk about scales, we should talk about listening. Most people are introduced to scales as ladders, up, down, repeat, something to conquer with the fingers. But the original purpose of a scale was never speed or accuracy. It was orientation, a way of placing the body inside a sound world and letting the ear learn where it belongs. When you play slowly inside a scale, especially one built around open strings, something subtle happens. The instrument begins to answer you. Certain notes bloom, others resist. Some feel inevitable, while others feel like questions. This isn't theory, it's acoustics teaching the ear. Sympathetic strings make this process impossible to ignore. Unlike stopped strings, sympathetic strings do not respond to effort or intention. They only respond to truth. When a pitch aligns clearly enough with the harmonic field of the instrument, the sympathetic strings vibrate. When it doesn't, they remain still. In this way, they act like a mirror for the ear, not judging, not correcting, simply responding. This is why sympathetic systems are so powerful for ear-led playing. They remove the idea of right notes and replace it with felt resonance. You don't choose the pitch because it's correct. You choose it because the instrument opens. Scales, in this context, are no longer exercises. They become listening paths. A scale like D major works so well on bowed instruments not because of tradition, but because of physics. Open strings align. Overtones reinforce one another. The body of the instrument resonates freely. When sympathetic strings are tuned to the same tonal center, they amplify this effect, turning even a single bowed note into a small harmonic environment. This teaches the ear in 3 ways at once. You hear the note you are playing. You hear the instrument responding. You feel the vibration in the body. That triangulation is ear training of the deepest kind. Why beating happens, and why it's useful. When 2 strings are close in pitch but not aligned, you hear a gentle pulsing or wavering in the sound. This is called beating. It happens because the sound waves from each string are slightly out of sync, interfering with one another. Beating isn't a mistake, it's information. When the pulses are slow and wide, the notes are far apart. When the pulses speed up, the notes are getting closer. When the beating disappears, the pitches have aligned. This is one of the most reliable ways the ear learns intonation. You're not measuring, you're listening for calm. The ear recognizes alignment as a kind of settling, a moment when the sound stops arguing with itself. Sympathetic strings make beating especially obvious. If a note is slightly off, the sympathetic strings will shimmer unevenly or fall silent altogether. As you adjust the pitch, you'll hear the beating slow, soften, and finally dissolve into a stable ring. That moment of stillness is the instrument saying, yes. Over time, the ear begins to anticipate this. You start to aim for resonance rather than correction. Intonation becomes something you arrive at, not something you fix. Guided listening practice, 5 to 7 minutes. You can do this on any instrument with open strings. Instruments with sympathetic strings make it clearer, but the principle is universal. Choose a tonal center. Pick one open string, D works beautifully, and let it ring. Bow or play it slowly. Don't add anything yet. Listen for the room. Notice how the sound fills the space. Don't analyze, just let the note exist until it feels complete. Introduce a second pitch slowly. Add another note from the scale, perhaps A or F sharp. Very gently. Hold it, do not adjust immediately. Notice the beating. Listen for pulsing, wobbling, or shimmer. Don't judge it. This is the sound giving you information. Micro-adjust until the sound settles. Without looking, adjust the pitch slowly. As the beating slows and disappears, notice the moment the instrument opens and the sound becomes calm. Return to the tonic. Go back to the open string. Notice how it now feels more familiar, more anchored. End in stillness. Stop playing and let the sound fade completely before moving on. This practice isn't about perfection. It's about trusting the ear to recognize belonging beyond a single instrument. At this point, the specific instrument matters less than the behavior it encourages. Any instrument that offers a stable tonal center ringing or open strings and sympathetic response can support ear-led learning. Some musicians encounter this through historical bowed instruments with sympathetic strings, others through drone instruments, altered tunings, or hybrid setups. Across cultures and centuries, Different traditions have arrived at the same understanding. Resonance teaches faster than instruction. In the continuum approach, we don't chase accuracy, we cultivate sensitivity. Scales are not drills, they are environments. Sympathetic strings are not decorations, they are teachers. Scales show us the landscape. Beating shows us when we're lost. Resonance tells us when we've arrived. And in that listening, the ear learns not how to perform, but how to belong. 2026, Sania Della Mare, FRSA.